In today's video, we will talk about electric dipole. An electric dipole is a pair of point charges of equal magnitude and opposite in sign, and they are separated by very small distance. So this is a plus Q, this is a minus Q. So this is an electric dipole. What we are interested in this video is how this electric dipole reacts to an electric field. And in doing so, we will define two important parameters. One is the torque, and the other one is the potential energy for such a system. Let's assume the dipole that we have just introduced is sitting in a region where you have electric field going in that direction, like that. We know that this electric field would exert certain amount of electric force on this charge and on that charge. The force exerted on the positive charge would go in the same direction as that of the electric field. Let's call that F+. The force on the negative charge would go in an opposite direction, F-. The magnitude of F+ is the same as the magnitude of the F-, namely, the magnitude of F+ equals the magnitude of F- equals to the strength of the charge Q times the strength of the electric field. The only difference is that in the direction of these two forces, they are opposite to each other. So what that means is they add up to 0. So we say the net force on an electric dipole in a uniform external electric field is 0. You can notice that these two forces, they don't act along the same line. So their torques don't add up to 0. What that means is, assume that we attached an axis of rotation in the middle. So the axis of rotation is coming out of the plane. Since F+ is acting rightward, F- is acting leftward, the configuration of these two forces will tend to rotate this dipole like that, in a clockwise direction. That means when there is a potential rotation, there is a potential torque, and that is what we want to calculate now. So to get the net torque, we need to determine the torque due to the positive force plus that to the torque due to the negative force. So let's first calculate the torque due to that positive force. When we say the positive force, we are referring to F+. Let's calculate the torque about an axis passing through the middle. So that means this length is L/2 and that length is L/2. Let's also assume that there is an angle here, phi, the angle between the dipole and the electric field. From the definition of torque, we know if you want to calculate the torque due to the F+, we have to take the force, F+, you multiply with the distance between that force and the axis of rotation. In this case, it's L/2, times the sine of an angle. That angle is the angle between the force and the moment arm, which goes from the axis of rotation to where the force acts. So that angle is the same as that angle, which is phi. So sine phi. Now let's calculate tau minus. So the force here is F minus, that one. The distance between the force and axis of rotation is again L/2, times the sine of an angle between the force, which is going like that, and the moment arm, which is going like that. Moment arm always go from the axis of rotation to where the force acts. So it is this angle here. Now if you note, it is the same as that angle, which is phi. So this is phi. Again, you have sine phi. We note both these torques have the same sign because they tend to rotate the dipole like that. We know the magnitude of F plus and F minus are the same, namely Q times E. So you have Q times E. So essentially they are the same terms, and the sum just doubles. You get QEL sine phi. So this represents the magnitude of that net torque. If you notice, you have a product Q times L. That is what we call as the dipole moment, or the electric dipole moment. So in terms of that, the torque magnitude can be written as P E sine phi. Again, phi is the angle between the dipole moment and the electric field. Dipole moment is a vector. So the direction of this dipole moment extends from the negative charge to the positive charge. So along that line. So you can see the angle between P and E is indeed phi. So in terms of magnitude, you can write the magnitude of the torque to be P E sine phi. On vector notation, it simply becomes the cross product of the electric dipole moment vector and the electric field, like that. So now let's look at the direction of the torque according to the cross product. It goes from vector P to vector E. So when you curl your right hand fingers from P to E like that, you will notice your right hand thumb will be pointing into the board. So that is the direction of this torque. So the direction of the torque is directed into the page, tending to rotate the dipole moment clockwise. As you can see from this equation, the torque is greatest when these two vectors are perpendicular. When they are perpendicular, the angle is 90 degrees. Sine 90 equals to 1, and that would make tau maximum. And the torque tau is 0 when these two vectors are parallel or antiparallel to each other. When P is parallel to E, the angle between them is 0. When they're antiparallel to each other, the angle between them is 180 degrees. So sine of these two angles are both 0. That would make torque to be 0 for these two configurations. However, this position here, when these two vectors are parallel to each other, is called the position of stable equilibrium. And when they are antiparallel or 180 degrees with respect to each other, that position is called the unstable equilibrium. And the reason is the torque always tends to turn this dipole moment to line it up with the electric field. Hence 0 degrees, hence the term stable equilibrium. Next, let's try to calculate the potential energy for this configuration when the dipole moment is resting in an electric field. When a dipole changes direction in a field, let's say goes like that, the torque that we have just computed does work on it. And this work implies the change in potential energy. So let's first calculate that work. Work done by a torque during a small angular displacement, let's call it d phi, is given by that torque times that angular displacement. So more accurately, this is an infinitesimal work. As we have discussed before, since the torque acts in a direction of decreasing phi, then we can write the expression for torque in a following manner. It's minus Pe sine phi. So let's substitute this in here. You get minus Pe sine phi d phi. So in a finite displacement where the angle, say, changes from phi1 to phi2, the total work done is computed by doing this integral. And that means it is just minus PE, which can be taken out of the integral sign because they are constants, sine phi d phi limits phi1 to phi2. Integrating sine will get minus cosine, and that minus will kill this minus, and that's going to give you PE cosine phi with appropriate limits. Putting in the limits, you will get PE cosine phi2 minus cosine phi1. But we know work is minus the change in potential energy. So minus the change in potential energy equals the initial potential energy, which is U1, minus the final potential energy, which is U2. Comparing these two expressions, you see U is simply minus PE cosine phi, or in terms of vector, it is minus P dot into E. Since P is a vector, it's a dipole moment vector, it's a dot product of the dipole moment vector and the electric field that gives you the potential energy. And as you can see, the potential energy is minimum or most negative at the stable equilibrium, namely when the angle is 0 degrees. That happens when the dipole and the electric field are parallel to each other. It is maximum when the angle is 180 degrees. That occurs when the dipole moment and the electric field are antiparallel to each other. Let's look at the following problem. Figure below shows an electric dipole moment in a uniform electric field, the magnitude of which is 6 times 10 to the power 5 Newton per Coulomb. Its direction is as indicated here. The charges are given by that much Coulomb separated by this much distance. The charges and electric field occupy the same plane. First, find the net force exerted by the field on the dipole. Now we know the net force is 0 because one force acting in this direction on the negative charge and in that direction on the positive charge, they add up to 0. Part B. The electric dipole moment, the magnitude and the direction. The direction goes from minus to positive charge, so it goes like that. So the angle between the dipole moment and the electric field is that, which is 180 minus 40, which is 140 degrees. So 140 in standard notation, or 140 degrees clockwise from the electric field. The magnitude is Q times L. Q is 2 times 10 to the power minus 19. L is 0.15 times 10 to the power minus 9 meter. And that's going to give you 3 times 10 to the power minus 29 Coulomb meter. Now let's calculate the torque. The direction can be determined by the following cross product. When you take your right-hand curl from this vector P to the vector E, you see that your right-hand thumb will be pointing out of the plane. So that is the direction of the torque coming out of that page. And that would tend to align this dipole moment with the electric field, because that would cause an anti-clockwise rotation. The magnitude of it is given by PE times sine phi. The electric dipole moment is that number, electric field is given by that number, and this angle between P and E is 140 degrees. Substituting everything, you get the following answer: 1.16 times 10 to the power minus 23 Newton meter. Now finally, the potential energy in the state shown. We know it is given by minus P E cosine phi. Again, P is given by this number, electric field is given by that number, and the angle between is 140 degrees. And that's going to give you an answer of positive 1.38 times 10 to the power minus 23 joules. And that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.